Hey guys, welcome to Our Mixed Media Moods, the monthly collaboration between DD Catron and myself, where we make a mood board. This month's is pictured here, and then we make projects based on that mood board. So I'm going to be working on an art journal page today. I'm going to take a page out of my Strathmore hardbound watercolor journal, and this page here that I just cut a piece off of had like holes that I accidentally poked through it. So I'm going to use the flap to glue my page into, because I cut another page out to work on, so I could work on it out of the book, because I know I wanted to do a lot of techniques where I didn't want to mess up the other pages in the book. So I just cut it out, and then I can just pop that puppy right back in. So I'm going to start by collaging some papers onto the bottom part of my page, and I turned my page into like a vertical orientation, whereas the book is more horizontal. But that, it doesn't really matter to me. So these papers are from the cut apart page from the Garden Party collection by 7 Dot Studio, designed by DD Catron. And they just have really nice gray vintagey tones. And I'm going to use some Collage Page matte to apply that. And then once that's dry, I can trim off the excess, and then I'm going to try to push that back a little into the background and kind of mute it a little bit with some gesso. And I wanted to get a very textured kind of grungy look, so I'm applying some of the gesso with my brayer, because the brayer just kind of makes a kind of texture that you just can't get with like a paintbrush or anything else. And then I'm going to take some Slate by Handmade Modern. This is a Target brand of craft paint, and I'm going to apply that in the same way. I'm going to put a little bit of that on my brayer. I'm going to mix that with some of my white gesso just to get a lighter gray, and then I'm going to apply that with my brayer as well. Then I'm going to take some Distress ink in Broken China and Distress stain in Chipped Sapphire, and I'm going to put some out on my nonstick craft sheet. And the only reason I didn't use both stains or both inks is because I don't have both in both colors, so it doesn't really matter, they all work the same. So I just put them both out on my craft sheet, ran my page through it, and then add a ton of water and move my page around to get it moving and flowing and running into each other. I'm going to add a little more Broken China to the edge there, and I'm just going to work at it back and forth, spraying some water and adding more inks until I'm happy with the way that it looks. And I'm really trying to maintain the horizontal line, or the horizon line, across my page. So if you see me spray water at the top and then wipe it away, I'm just trying to keep the blue from up there, but really in the end it doesn't matter, because I end up adding blue up there anyway. But sometimes I don't know where it's gonna go, so better safe than sorry. So yeah, just that dance back and forth of adding inks, spraying water, drying, and until I'm happy with the look. Now you can see where the two papers meet, but I wasn't really too concerned with it, because I figured in the end all the other things that I was wanting to add would kind of take the focus off of that, but we have a little issue with that middle strip there. So it ends up not mattering anyway. Okay, so then I have Distress paint in Stormy Sky and Chipped Sapphire, and I'm just going to add those two colors to the top part of my page. And Distress paints get a very marbled look to them. Oh, I'm first going to mask off the bottom part with my masking tape, because I don't want any of that paint dripping down into the bottom, because the inks and the stains are water reactive, so I know I'm not going to be able to wipe the paint off if it gets down there, and spoiler alert, it does get down there anyway. So I'm just going to add a whole bunch of water to my paints, move my page around, use my finger to help move them around, and really I'm just going to play around until I'm happy with the way it looks. Same thing as the bottom. Like I said, they get a really like mottled, kind of marbled look, And to me, the mood board is very moody and kind of like night sky and dark oceans, you know. So I was really going for that swirled, mottled kind of marbled look that you get from the paints, which is why I chose to use the paints up top and chose a different look with the stains down, or the stains and the inks down at the bottom. So in the mood board here, in the lower right corner, there's like a transformer with some wires, and to me, it reminded me of like how birds sit on a wire. So I'm going to stamp some of these birds here coming off from that horizon line where the papers are in the middle of my page. And this is a Tim Holtz stamp, and I'm just going to stamp them around. I masked off the bottom portion because I just want them coming up into the top. I don't want them on the bottom part. And as I rip the tape up, I ripped that middle piece like completely to shreds. So I'm just going to take the whole thing off. I didn't have a plan at this point, but I just figured I could work it out in some way, and I couldn't deal with that big rip in the page. So now I'm going to take some steel. This is by Handmade Modern as well. And when I ripped the paper off from that middle section, it left this delightfully grungy, like torn paper, just such good texture. Like I couldn't have done that if I tried. And, you know, a lot of times mistakes can turn into the most glorious of things. And I'm just going to add some of this steel paint to highlight that grungy kind of texture that I have going on there. And really, I end up liking this a lot more than I think I had liked the white strip. So to kind of play off of that grunge there in the middle, this is a, I think it's supposed to be peeled paint, I think it's called. It's a Finnabair clear stamp, and I'm just going to stamp in the middle there. So I'm going to mask off the top and the bottom, and then I'm going to take my black ink pad and run that all around the edges just to frame in my piece a little bit. And then to get more of those moody dark tones, I'm going to take that steel again, add a little bit to the one little side of my brayer, and apply that to just the outside edges of my page. And I'm just going to keep adding paint and brayering over it until I'm happy with the way it looks. And you can see down at the bottom there, I also have a rip from the masking tape. So I'm just going to add some of that steel paint just to those dots or those spots and brayer it out. And then it just kind of looks like those are darker, grungier spots. Yeah, so I'm just going to add it all over until I'm happy with the way that it looks. I'm going to kind of take my palette knife and add a little bit more of a concentrated application of that gray around the center, going up and going down from that center strip there. And I'm scraping my palette knife, I'm kind of stamping with it, I'm running it kind of parallel to my page and letting it catch on all the texture. And then I'm going to take some washi tape. This is Tim Holtz washi tape, and it has like names of, I don't know if they're subway stops in New York or if they're just streets in New York. But I kind of feel like the page kind of had like a wanderlusty kind of travel-y feel. I don't know if it's just me, but so that's why I chose this particular washi tape. And then I'm just going to add a strip of white, black with polka dots. So then the middle photo here down at the bottom has this delightful wood grain. So I wanted to add a wood-like element to my piece, so I decided to take this chipboard star by Wow Studio, and the big one is from the layered star set, and then I have some little ones from the star confetti by Wow Studio. And then I also balled up some black thread and put that underneath that big star, just to kind of ground that star there and add a little bit more emphasis to it so it didn't get lost against the gray. So I also added some more of those little stars on top of the big star, and I added the word Wanderer, which is from the Tim Holtz Clippings sticker pack. And because like I said, the whole thing feels kind of wanderlusty to me, so the word kind of fit perfectly. And then that's it for my page, but I wanted to quickly show you. I'm going to take that flap and I'm just going to glue this puppy right onto that flap. And it doesn't matter to me that the orientation isn't kind of the same as the rest. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out Dee Dee's video if you have not. Her project is freaking amazing. I will link to her video down below. You can join our Facebook group, which is linked down below. You can join us over at Instagram. Tag us on Instagram, hashtag ourmixedmediamoods. Share your project. We love when you play along, and if you want to make a video, we love that sort of thing as well. You can do that and share it on our Facebook group or on Instagram. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye bye, guys.